That's him. He's gone. Finally. Some of you might be familiar with his face. Some of you, if you've been watching this channel, his name is His name was Ali Reza Tangsiri. He was also targeted a couple of times recently, including the beginning of the operation in Iran. The Israelis and the Americans decided to do a joint operation, both in terms of intelligence gathering to find out exactly when and how they should do this, and also in terms of military. This guy was hit before recently, and he was injured a couple of times. He survived. He kept surviving. Well, he's not laughing now, is he? So Tangsiri is now finally dead. This man was single-handedly in charge of closing the Strait of Hormuz. The man responsible for the closure of Strait of Hormuz has now been closed himself. And now let's talk about Mossad. This is...
As we had said earlier, the fact that Donald Trump had said that there is a 5-day ceasefire, it wasn't something that was actual. It was a strategy that he wanted to use to get these guys sleeping or relaxed so that they can get them from wherever they are. And that is what happened to this guy, to the Navy chief, Navy commander-in-chief of the naval forces of the Islamic regime of Iran. And he's no more. He's no more. He took the bait. He did exactly what Israel and Trump needed. And then they send whatever they know how to send better into his apartment, and he is no more. Now the Strait of Hormuz is open, as Trump said it will open soon. To show you
the fact that we're real and solid, and we're there. We're going to let you have 8 boats of oil, 8 boats, 8 big boats of oil. This was 2 days ago. And they'll sail up tomorrow. That was 3 days ago. And I didn't think much about it. And then I watched the news, and they said, a very good anchor, actually, happened to be Fox. But I watched it, and he said, something's unusual happening. There are 8 boats that are going right up the middle of the Hormuz Strait. 8 big tankers are going loaded up with oil right through. And I said, well, I guess they were right, and they were real. And I think they were Pakistani flagged. Yes. And I said, well, I guess we're dealing with the right people. And actually, they then apologized for something they said, and they said, we're going to send 2 more boats. And it ended up being 10 boats. All right. I hope I haven't screwed up your negotiations, but I thought it was appropriate to say, because I did taunt you the other day by saying they're going to give us a present.
The Strait of Hormuz is open again, as most people thought. Maybe it would take months or years, because these guys were so much, they thought they were so much well planned to continue the blockade for a given moment, to frustrate the whole world in terms of oil, so that everyone can back them or can stand against the US and Israel, because there's no better supply of oil and goods around the world. But who are these guys? They knew exactly whatever they wanted and how they wanted it. As you said, Trump is a super strategist, and he knew how to do it. And as he has promised, or he did promise, he has fulfilled the promise to the world. Now we wait to see whatever happens next.
On stockpiles, destroying the defense industrial base. We've wiped out their Navy completely, their Air Force completely. We've wiped out a large percentage of their missiles, and the missile launchers. Without the launchers, the missiles don't do any good. And we've knocked out probably close to 90% of the launchers, probably more than 90% of the missiles themselves. Between some they fired and more than they fired, we knocked out.
Boots on the ground still possible, because the US has to make sure that everything they've been doing, there is a flawless transition of leadership from the Islamic regime to at least democratic leadership in Iran. So with that, with the boots on the ground, it will help them determine who are still the sleeper cell, the IRGC sleeper cells, around, roaming around, planning for other activities that are not good, of which they have started intermingling with other people around, making it not easy for that is targeted as air strikes. But boots on the ground will be able to determine or get them right from wherever place they are, as an easy elimination process, because that will make it a more of a targeted ground targeted elimination and not an airstrike, because with airstrike and these guys have mingled or they have mixed themselves with the civilians, it will lead to heavy civilian casualties than what should be expected, or than what is the main objective of Donald Trump and there is a Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. So we will still see boots on ground in Iran, just to make sure that there is a flawless transition of leadership. I don't know what you think about this, but you can leave it in the comment section. Interact with us and tell us what you think about the whole thing. Do you think it has been a good call so far from the Israelis and the US to make sure that they're rooting out the IRGC, or do you think they would have left this matter to be dealt with by the Iranians themselves? I know people have divergent or different opinions on this, but okay, every opinion counts. But again, for the greater cause, things, some things are meant to happen. Subscribe and like.